About 2 years ago, I made my first video to show you how Rolex Submariner wears on my 6.5 inches wrist, and I couldn't figure out how to avoid focus hunting in my camera. That video on Hulk, still available on my channel, instead of being a help, turned out to be a disaster. For the love of watches and to share the experience of ownership, here's my take 2 on this stunning Rolex Submariner green dial. I had to let it go end of last year to fund another piece, and I planned to add it back. The good news is I did add it back only 4 months after I moved my last one. The bad news is I had to add another 4 grand on top of what I sold my last one for. You could ask, why did I have to move it in the first place if I was going to add it later? And that's a fair question. Rolex are interesting watches, but with bizarre market. They are mass-produced watches that are always and will always be available, but just not at the retail price. In fact, at the time of doing this review, there is 0 watch available in any AD in Australia, or for that matter globally. But if you check Chrono24, there are more than 128 Hulks available only from this year 2019. And around 500 watches available in general globally. What a marketing strategy. You know it if you know what I mean. So I moved it to fund another watch that is far more difficult to acquire, as it rarely becomes available due to being not a mass-produced watch. But let's not discount how beautiful Rolex Submariner is only because of its artificial scarcity. There is something very special about Rolex Submariner. Its design, its dimensions, its sturdiness, tool watch ability, and then the wrist presence. The versatility that you can put it on with both formal and casual dress, and then all steel look combined with all brushed finish, making it absolutely perfect answer for day-to-day use. There cannot be an occasion where Rolex Submariner will not fit in or will look out of place. There cannot be a day a Rolex Submariner will not be the right choice. It's beautiful and timeless, and there will not be a day it will be out of demand, or for that matter, fashion. And then when you add a pinch of green, it becomes truly spectacular. It's safe to say that this green Submariner is the trendsetter for this color, and today when we see other brands, some of the top tier ones included, have the green watches added into their collection. Let's take a moment to give credit to Rolex to introduce this color and making it one of the most desirable dials, where previously anything only blue was what was in the discussion. The green on the dial is sunburst, and you can see the radial brushed lines radiate from center of the dial and move towards the casing rehaut. The hour markers are applied, enhancing the 3-dimensional effect on the watch face. The white gold hands and hour indices complement the steel look of the watch, ensuring the feel of luxury is there. The engraving on the casing with text Rolex is very crisp and sharp, being laser engraved, and the quality is top-notch as you would expect from Rolex. Mostly said but rarely seen is the laser-etched crown in the crystal right on top of 6 o'clock hour marker. I've shot this clip with angle so you can see the crown on the crystal if you never did before. See how the crown is etched in dots but so crisply that it beautifully and seamlessly defines the crown. If you look at the counterfeit watch, this crown may still be there, but as of now in the fake watch, the dots of the crown won't be as sharp as this, and the crown itself would be clumsy and muffled. Another distinctive element I discovered and absolutely love about Rolex Caliber 3135 in the Submariner is the date change at midnight. Before I got into Rolex, I had previously seen in my watches the date change that will commence around 11 PM and will change over to the next number in a space of about 1 hour, with the date wheel slowly progressing into next number. In Rolex, the date change is instant. In this video, you can see it is spot on and changes exactly at midnight, but this can be up to or within 4 to 5 minutes past 12 AM, but the date change will still be instant. The watch has two-tone effect due to ceramic bezel and dial color for green being different. The different colors make the watch a little more interesting and loud. Where black Submariner is more versatile than green, I have to admit that this green one has a little more luxurious and jewelry feel to it. When you see a green dial on the wrist, it does look a little more special for day-to-day or a regular watch use. Ceramic bezel itself is the biggest peace of mind. With day-to-day activities, it is very likely to bang your watch into a door handle, car seat belt, side table or even kitchen tap. And then not having to worry about dinging or denting your bezel due to that hit is the best feeling you can have after wearing a sports watch. The watch retails at 12,000 Australian dollars and the market price is about 2 times this price. But let's not get into that discussion as we can't solve that problem here. Although I do hope Rolex improve their deliveries and people waiting for these watches get the chance to own these beautiful watches at the retail prices. There is something very special about the size. I have always preferred a bigger and wider watch as a matter of personal taste and have always previously favored larger than 42 or 43 mm case sizes. The Maxi Case Rolex was my first watch ever I bought in 40 mm case in a long time. And this case has changed my opinion to the point that I now prefer this 40 mm case over any other cases, sports and dress watches included. This Maxi case quite easily wears more like 42 mm case, yet the case size is still 40 mm. This is achieved with wider and taller lugs that not only expand the watch span but make the watch much more modern looking, angular, broad and wider. Here is the Maxi case side by side with 42 mm Seiko Monster, and you can see that the Submariner from any angle does not wear or look smaller than 42 mm. If anything, Rolex appears to have more substance and presence due to the case profile. Despite being bigger case, the watch wears excellent even on smaller wrists. My wrist size is 6.5 inches or 16.5 centimeters and the watch case hangs at the center of the wrist, showing the bracelet connecting to the lugs on both sides of my wrist, complementing the wrist view and enhancing the experience of watch profile from the top view. The watch fit on the wrist is so exceptional that this has pretty much set the standard and point of reference for me for the perfect size on my wrist. And you can probably see why from how perfectly it sits, looks and goes. The watch case is 12.8 mm thick and for the sports watch offering 300 meter water resistance, it is actually extremely thin watch. The watch hugs the wrist brilliantly and the polished bracelet enhances the elegance, robustness and overall low-key appearance of the watch. The clasp is Oyster Lock and Glide Lock, which offers not only the ability to adjust its length and expand to 18 mm with the increments of 1.8 mm on the go without use of any tools, but is also very secure and sturdy. The click of the clasp is probably the most crisp sound I have heard on the clasps to date. I will be putting this Rolex Submariner side by side with a P Royal Oak in my next video. And the comments I will share will be the first-hand experience from owner's point of view. So I'm sure you would love that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to stay notified of when the video comes out. Thank you for watching my video. Happy collecting.